The Gilgo Beach serial killings began in the early 1990s, but the full scope of the murders wasn't realized until years later. The victims, many of whom were sex workers, were targeted by a perpetrator who would later become known as the Long Island serial killer, the Manorville Butcher, or the Craigslist Ripper. 1996. Karen Vergata, a 34-year-old woman believed to be a sex worker, disappeared around February 14. Her severed legs were found in a garbage bag on Fire Island on April 20, 1996. It wasn't until 2022 that she was identified through genetic genealogy. 1997. On June 28, the dismembered torso of an unidentified young African American woman, later dubbed Peaches, was found at Hempstead Lake State Park. She had a distinctive tattoo of a heart-shaped peach with a bite taken out of it. 2000. Valerie Mack, also known as Melissa Taylor, went missing in the spring or summer while living in Philadelphia and working as an escort. Her torso was found in Manorville on November 19, 2000, wrapped in garbage bags. At the time, she remained unidentified. 2003. Jessica Taylor, 20, went missing on July 21 while working as a sex worker in Manhattan. On July 26, her dismembered torso was found in Manorville, New York. Parts of her remains were discovered over 8 years later along Ocean Parkway. The search for Shanann Gilbert, May 2010. The investigation that would uncover the Gilgo Beach killings was triggered by the disappearance of Shanann Gilbert, a 24-year-old sex worker, in May 2010. She had fled from a client's home in Oak Beach after making a 23-minute-long emergency call to 911, during which she said, "They are trying to kill me." December 11, 2010. Officer John Malia, along with his trained cadaver dog, discovered human remains by the side of Ocean Parkway in Oak Beach while searching for Shanann Gilbert. Despite thick vegetation and snow, the dog alerted to a skeleton wrapped in disintegrating burlap. The remains were later identified as Melissa Barthelemy. Further investigation led to the discovery of 3 additional bodies: Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello. These 4 victims became known as the Gilgo Four, and their bodies were found approximately 500 feet from each other. March 29, 2011. Additional remains, including parts of Jessica Taylor's body, were discovered along Ocean Parkway. Taylor's dismembered torso had been found 8 years earlier in Manorville. April 2011. Over the course of the month, 6 more sets of remains were discovered, bringing the total number of known victims to 10. Among these were an unidentified female toddler, an unidentified Asian person, Valerie Mack, whose partial remains had been found in Manorville in 2000, Karen Vergata's skull, and an unidentified woman known as Jane Doe No. 3, or Peaches, later identified as the mother of the unidentified toddler. May 9, 2011. Police speculated that the murders of Valerie Mack and Jessica Taylor might have been committed by a second, separate killer. November 29, 2011. Authorities announced their belief that one person was responsible for all 10 murders, based on common characteristics and forensic evidence. December 2011. After 19 months of searching, Shanann Gilbert's remains were found in Oak Beach. The cause of her death remains contested. September 12, 2017. Suffolk County Prosecutor Robert Biancavalla suggested that John Bitrolf, a convicted murderer of 2 sex workers, might be linked to some of the Gilgo Beach murders. Bitrolf lived in Manorville, close to where the torsos of Jessica Taylor and Valerie Mack were found. June 2024. Rex Heuermann, an architect from Massapequa Park on Long Island, was charged with the murders of 6 women, including the 4 Gilgo Beach victims. Heuermann had been under investigation since March 2022, after authorities linked a vehicle registered in his name to one of the murders. Mitochondrial DNA evidence and cell phone records connected him to the victims. Heuermann is also under investigation for the 2000 death of Valerie Mack. Unresolved cases and continued investigations. 3 victims remain unidentified: Peaches, Baby Doe, and Asian male. Despite ongoing efforts, the full scope of the Gilgo Beach serial killings may never be known, but the arrest of Rex Heuermann has brought renewed hope for justice. Thank you for listening, and until next time, stay safe.